What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to the Knicks Cave. I'm Jan, and Nick Fan, your host, and let's get into it. But before we do, I want y'all to hit that like button. I want y'all to subscribe. I want y'all to leave a comment, and yes, I want y'all to hit the notification bell. All right, let's get into this video. Memphis against the New York Knicks, another home game, and I'm hoping. Well, this should not be. This should. I'm not gonna say easy because there's no easy game, especially with the Knicks being short-handed. So this is why before I jump into that Grizzly game, I'm gonna talk about that Lakers loss just for a microsecond. And the reason I feel we lost that game, well, one could say it was due. No, we can't win them all. That would be some people's philosophy. And we played 82 games, so that's not all. That's a little bit joke. But let's be real. I kind of seen the loss coming. You know, like I said, I'm a commentator, but I'm also a Knicks fan, so I kind of take it a little personal. So I get it personally involved in wins and losses. But I seen this loss coming not because of the Lakers coming in, because the Lakers they're not doing too well, and I don't know if y'all know this or not, but I'm a big LeBron James fan, and that wasn't a factor that I said the New York Knicks lost this game. I basically thought we lost this game because um, coaching and fatigue, and basically mainly coaching because the coach should know when your tires, when your players have it, when they tired or not. And Jalen Brunson, since the injury to Julius Randle, I'm not gonna honest, he earned that. He earned that All-Star spot, which he should have had last year, or it shouldn't even been in question from the way he began this season. But the way he's been playing, yes, he's been the best point guard. Some would say since Clyde Frazier, and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna be even bolder. Best point guard, even better than Clyde Frazier. And the reason people probably say Clyde Frazier is better than Jalen Brunson because Clyde got us a chip. But whether Jalen Brunson get us a chip or not, I'm gonna be honest. In my opinion, he is better than Clyde Frazier. But like I said, that loss against the Lakers is done with fatigue. Thibs got to find a way to spell Brunson and keep the game moving for the Knicks. And what I mean by that, keep us competitive. And we all know Thibs as a defensive-minded coach, but we also know that he lacks on the offensive end. And he got to start drawing the plays that's going to get players open. Everything can't be on a fly or, you know what I'm saying, working off Jalen Brunson or working off one guy. If this don't come through, then we go back here. There's no plan B or C. That's in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. And I think Tibbs got to start working on the plan B and the plan C. And we all know the plan A. God damn it, everybody know the plan A is Jalen Brunson. So what Tibbs got to do, he got to figure out how to get other players involved. And by that I mean he got to draw up plays. He got to be more smarter when it comes to the offensive end. And if he don't got it, he got to let somebody else manage that department. And who's to say that it isn't somebody right now taking over the offensive duties for the team? I don't know, but we all, and I'm assuming that it is Tibbs. But let's get to this Memphis Grizzlies game. As we see, um, this is going to be, I'm not going to say it's going to be easy game. Forgive me for a second. As we see, we're going to, but look who the key player is for Memphis. Right now, it's Luke Kennard, and I'm going to get to them in a minute, but we'll talk about their last 10 games in a second. In the last 10 games, we know the Knicks are 9-1, averaging 114 points a game, 48 rebounds, 23 assists, 6.5 steals, 5.2 blocks a game, while shooting 47% from the field. And they holding their opponents to 101 points. It was at one time it was just under 100 points, like 99 points. And Grizzly in their last 10 games, they averaging 101, right where the Knicks is holding players in the teams. 40 rebounds, 25.6 assists a game, 8 steals, 5 blocks, while shooting 43% from the field, and they hold their opponents to 112. Now the Knicks is averaging 114. Even if we score 112 points, they only averaging 101. If we score 108, and we keeping players down to 101, and which is their average, you know what I'm saying? Unless they come out and have a spectacular night, how can they beat the Knicks? If we dealing off stats alone, how can they beat the Knicks? So I'm not going to say I'm going to overlook this game, but this should be a game that the Knicks should win. And this is why I was talking about the fatigue problem. This is why I brought that game up. This should be a game. I don't care. Take a fine or whatever, but the Knicks should rest Jalen Brunson. They should give him a rest because if you look at the Memphis. Grizzlies, they riddled with injuries. You know what I'm saying? Their best players out for the season. One of their enforcers is not playing. Rose is hurt. Oladipo is hurt. Smart are hurt. Jaren Jackson, the enforcer, in my opinion. Junior is hurt. He's Morant is out. Clark, Connaught, Bain, another enforcer, kind of dirty player in my opinion. Tillman, Williams, Alderman. They got a list of injuries as you see here compared to the New York Knicks. And I'm not saying that the Knicks are that good that we can go out, that we can sit Jalen Brunson. But if this was any other team than the Memphis Grizzlies, I would like, nah, we got to play him. But this is a game, and hopefully, Grimes should be back. Ananobi is still listed game time decision. But this should be a game. Take the fine, you know what I'm saying? Take the fine, you know what I'm saying? And rest Jalen Brunson. He needs to rest. And not only that, this can put a little more confidence. Well, this will give the other players like Mal McBride and Hart and everybody else confidence, and the coach, that the coach have confidence in them. Like, you know what? I'm going to rest Brunson tonight, and I'm gonna let y'all go out there and do y'all thing. You know what I'm saying? I got that much confidence in y'all, and this is a game that should be relatively easy for the New York Knicks. I'm not saying it's going to be, because there's no easy game, such thing as an easy game, because you never know what can happen in the game. You never know how the other players come out. But this should be a game that the coach should be thinking about resting Jalen Brunson, because we already have our injuries, and right here you see I have a list of injuries, and I don't want Jalen Brunson to be added to our injuries. And the way he's playing, taking over, I mean, yes, he got the call up. He is an all-star, and if you ask me, he is the best point guard in the East right now. I'm not going to say the West, but in the East, I don't care what nobody says. Jalen Brunson is the best point guard, and I know Halliburton is averaging 10 assists or whatever, and he's really good for the team of Pacers. But I still, the way Jalen Brunson impacts the game, that even makes me say he should be a candidate for MVP. And there is a lot of talk of that going around, him being a candidate. But we'll see, especially with Joe and B going down. And that's another story. And we're going to talk about, I got another video, because with Joe and B going down, the New York Knicks moving in the third, and the Bucks slipping. Like I said in my last video, I don't have faith in Doc Rivers. So when the playoff comes, I don't. I'm being honest. I expect the Bucks to get knocked off in maybe the first or second round. You see what the Jazz just did to the Milwaukee Bucks, and that's due with coaching. And why I'm on that, because I'm about to get off it in a second. How the hell did Doc Rivers become the Eastern All-Star coach? Let's move on. Let's just move on. All right, let's move on real quick. Like we look over their top performance, and this is another reason why I say it should be a relatively easy game. But like I said, there's no such thing as an easy game in any sports. But their top player in the last 10 games is Jared Jackson Jr., and he's expected to miss this game. Then you got Vince Williams Jr. Have you ever heard of Vince Williams Jr.? He had 13 points the last game. David Rowdy, 9 points. Sati Alderman, and I think he's hurt. Let me check to see the injury report again one more time. Yes, Alderman is hurt, so he might be a game time decision. John however you pronounce that name. And if you look at their averages, 23 points from Jared Jackson, and he might miss the game. Vince Williams, 13 points. Rowdy, 9.5 points. I mean, if you look at them, there's nothing threatening about this team, with especially their star going down and them heading to the lottery. So this should be a relatively easy game for the New York Knicks. But once again, I'm gonna say there's no such thing as an easy game. But this should also be a game that Thibs think about resting Jalen Brunson, because Brunson, we can't continue the path that he is, especially with Julius Randle expecting to miss at least another 2 to 3 weeks, and he's going to be the guy carrying the load. And who knows when Ananobi coming back, because we're not really hearing nothing about the injury, but it's a shoulder. The elbow is the elbow. We're not getting any solid concrete facts like, okay, how long is the man going to be out? And Grimes, he's supposed to play in this game. So, that would give the Knicks another player. And if not, then this is the time to bring up them players from the Westchester Knicks. Start giving playing time to players like Toppin or other guys. I know Washington hurt with a finger or something like that, but, mix it up. You know what I'm saying? And being that our top stars are hurt, we can't play a 7-man rotation. This is what I meant to say earlier in the video about being on the coach and that loss against the Lakers, because if our stars are hurt and we're down 3, 4 players, you cannot play a 7-man rotation and expect the players to be in tip top shape and not fatigued and be able to run up and down against the other players, star players. Now think about it, star players when they're sitting down and getting rest, and you still playing this guy 35, 45 minutes, and that's the first half. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? So uh, you understand what I mean by the first half. Can't play 35 minutes the first half. I'm just going to say that, but y'all know exactly what I mean. You got to make a change and and the way he's using and utilizing the players and bringing players off the bench. Hey, even if he's not going to get the job done, the long term is keeping our player, our star player, Jalen Brunson, healthy enough so that when we enter the playoffs, he won't be fatigued, he won't be burnt out. For you have something left, and that's a problem with Thibs. That's one of his flaws that he overplay his players, and I think that's a factor in what kind of shortened Derrick Rose's career. I know Derrick Rose is still playing, but look at Derrick Rose's injury history, and it all come from playing under Tom Thibodeau. So, like I said, this I don't like to complain about. Well, I guess I do like to complain about Tibbs, but it's mainly about his defensive schemes and his lack of offense. But you never really hear me talk about how he overutilized or overplayed or overworked his players. And right now, I'm thinking that's what he's doing with Jalen Brunson. So let's look at this matchup real quick. As you see how they match up in points, rebounds, the Knicks should be out dominating them in every category because they are, like I said, a team that's heading for what? The lottery. You look at scoring, they 30th, damn it, they last. You come to field goal percentage, they last. Free throw percentage, they're 21st. The Knicks still beating them in that department. 3-point percentages, the Knicks is dominating in that. 3-point shots made, they're actually seventh in the league. But what who cares if you can make a shot but you not making shots? It's kind of contradicting if you understand what I'm saying. You made this many shots, but damn, you took 673, and you still one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league. Now let's check out their rebounding and stuff like that. There, when you come to their rebounding, they're 23rd. Knicks is third. Assists. They've actually beaten the New York Knicks in assists. That's one thing I complained about. I wanted Jalen Brunson to really move the ball, but then again, it all falls back into Tibbs' offensive schemes where this is how he utilizes his player. He overworks his player, in my opinion. And I'm not complaining about the wins, but I'm complaining about what it's doing to the players in the long run. And if we expect Jalen Brunson to be here for the next 3, 4 years, we can't keep playing him and running him into the ground. That's just my opinion. Tell me what y'all think in the comments on that topic. I have like assists in the ratio turnover. The Knicks actually beating them in that. Blocks, Knicks is beating them in that. No, actually blocks, and that's because Jaren Jackson, forgive me, they're averaging 6.2 blocks a game, where the Knicks is averaging 4, so they're third, and the Knicks are 27. And if you want to say if Mitchell Robinson was here, we'd be having a higher block percentage. No, because he wasn't averaging the blocks he was before he got hurt. He was actually leading the teams in steals. So I don't know. This is a game that I think the Knicks is going to win, and I don't think it really gonna make a difference if Brunson's on the floor or not, because actually the Grizzlies are that bad, and this should be a test for the rest of our team and a confidence builder. Like y'all go out there, we're gonna rest Jalen. If Anunoby back, and then we can ease him back in the game gingerly and have some restricted minutes so his elbow won't get re-injured. And Grimes, you know what? We got you, shopping you. So go out there, you know what I'm saying? Show us what you can do. Show us why we should keep you. You know what I'm saying? And why we shouldn't trade you. Because if you look at Grimes, the skills that he possesses, he can basically fit with any team. His 3-and-D skill set can fit with any team. So the Knicks this should be a tester for the Knicks. I know we're looking good right now, and people still questioning the bench, and this is why we should say, let's go out there and show the world, show the NBA that this bench is not as flawed as y'all think it is. But the most important thing, we be giving Jalen Brunson a well-needed rest, and not to mention it's going to be 3 days since the Knicks played since that loss on Saturday night. And yes, that's a good rest for Jalen Brunson. But one more day wouldn't hurt against an inferior team. I know I keep calling this team inferior or whatever a case may be, and then I come out and say you cannot overlook any team because there's no such thing as easy games in the NBA. But this should still be a game that Jalen Brunson should be able to get some rest in time. Just for the sake of keeping him healthy for the long run, which is the playoffs. Tell me what y'all think, and don't forget to hit me up in the comments because I really like engaging in that. But with that being said, I want everybody to stay safe, stay healthy. God bless and peace.